who would you say is the pickiest eater in the locker room of WWE?
In the boys' side, no one other than maybe Dom and his fetish for chicken tenders.
Really? Chicken tenders? That's what he's getting?
I think that's all the kid eats. I mean, he looks like that he's made out of chicken tenders.
This is TMZ's Inside the Ring.
Welcome to TMZ's Inside the Ring. I'm Branson Quirk.
I'm Roger Corral.
And Roger, I am starving. I'm starving. I just saw this guy's commercial for this show. We're about to talk all about it.
It looks fire, man.
In the kitchen. You saw it with me. It
looks delicious.
And, without further ado, no, seriously, this guy is amazing. I'm a big fan of his. I grew up watching this guy.
Yeah.
He's a former WWE Universal Champion, Intercontinental Champion, Raw Tag Team Champion, and one of the most powerful men to ever step inside the ring. And now he's taking some of that larger-than-life energy to the kitchen across the country. And I wrote this. He's from flipping ambulances to flipping patties.
Ah, beautiful.
Now, I came up with that myself. That was not AI. The monster among men, Braun Strowman, is here with us on Inside the Ring. Welcome, Braun. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing awesome. Thank you guys for the time today. And man, y'all talking about my food show. I've been doing media all morning. I'm absolutely starving. So, man, what an opportunity. Holy cow, how all this has come to fruition, my guys. It is truly mind-blowing for me. This humble kid from Sherrilsford, North Carolina, yet again figuring out a way to grace the world with this beautiful face on their television screen.
Oh, love to hear it, man. So your show coming out this Friday. Everybody's pumped for it. Everything on the menu with Braun Strowman premiering on USA Network after Friday Night SmackDown. Tell us all about it. I want to know, how did this come about? How long has this been in the making?
All right, so I'll give you the quick rundown on it. So 2023, I had that really bad neck injury in the ring where I pinched my spine and both my arms went limp, were paralyzed for about 3 seconds during the match. If you watch that match with Otis, you can see it happen. I go to take off. I'm real weeble wobbling. I get through the rest of the match. And while I'm out there in the ring and in the back, it feels like I'm having boiling water poured down my arms. My fingers are numb because you see me kind of look at my hands and move them. To get the match done, get in the bag, the doctors check me out. We're trying to figure out what's going on. And then for like the 3 or 4 days before I ended up having to have surgery, every half hour or so, it'd feel like boiling water would get poured down my arms or my fingers would go numb and go to sleep. So I'm literally freaking out of, oh my God, my career's over. My day-to-day life's over. Thankfully, I'm really close with Stone Cold Steve Austin. This injury was really, really similar to the injury that ended his career. So I called Steve, talked to Steve a lot, man. He gave me a lot of reassurance and eased my mind with have the surgery. He's had great success afterwards, no issues and stuff like that. WWE took great care of me, got me down to Andrews Medical, got me patched up. They threw a metal plate, 4 screws in there. So my time off, I had like a year or whatever to recover from that. And I'm sitting there going, man, am I ever going to be able to wrestle again? Am I going to be able to go to the gym? Am I going to be able to have a normal life, a family, whatever? And kind of freaking out. And I'm sitting there realizing like how truly blessed my life has been to this point, even if my career in the ring's over and all this other stuff. And having this epiphany, I guess, of how blessed I am, not only with my physical stature, but the ability that I have inside of me of putting smiles on people's faces. And it was a realization of how can I continue to do that if I don't have this platform with WWE, or I'm not capable of doing physical stuff, which has got me to where I am in life. So one day we're on a phone call with my agent, Nick, and my close friend, Kevin, who's the producer of the show, Everything on the Menu. And we're just him-hawing, throwing ideas out there of what I could possibly do moving forward. And I think they were giving me a hard time about something one day about how when I go out to eat, I like to order 3, 4 entrees. When I go out, well, look at me, I'm 350 pounds. I didn't get this way by accident. I'm still a grown boy. But the idea of that, why I do stuff like that, is how blessed my career, my time was with WWE, with being able to travel around the world and experience so many different walks of life and so many culinary cuisines and different things, and how I realized I liked trying new foods, trying different spins on foods that I'd eaten before, and how much fun I had taking other people out to do that as well, getting them to step outside of their comfort zone of what they normally eat on a day-to-day basis, trying new foods, trying new spices, and experiencing life. Because at the end of the day, man, this is what this is all about. So we had this idea, they're making fun of me, whatever it is. And I'm like, man, half the time I go to these restaurants and honestly, I wish I could order everything on the menu.
I feel that.
What a dream.
So then, yeah, so we banged our heads a little bit on it. We ended up going to Kewaskum, Wisconsin, which is like an hour or so from my farm up in Wisconsin. We went to a restaurant called the Great Outdoors Supper Club. And they're famous because they have a 96-ounce prime rib on it in an ode to Great Outdoors with John Candy back in the day.
Love that movie.
Oh, unbelievable movie. And it's hilarious in this pilot episode that we shot of that because I picked this 96-ounce prime rib up like a loaf of bread and just started taking bites out of it. It's very primal, very naughty, I like to say it, because I mean, I get naughty when I eat food and things. So we shot this pilot episode and we started getting it out to different people to see if anybody would be interested in partnering, buying it and whatnot. And I had such an unbelievable relationship with USA Network over the last decade of being all strewed across their programming. And I think them knowing that when I'm on TV, the people tune in, and I drew unbelievable ratings for their network through WWE and stuff like that. So they said, you know what, let's run with this. And we did 8 episodes for season 1. We did Washington, D.C., Orlando, Tampa, New Orleans, Las Vegas, Fort Worth, Milwaukee, and Chicago for season 1. And we did from mom and pop soul food kitchen all the way to 3-star Michelin restaurants, everywhere in between. And I do 2 restaurants every episode. The first restaurant are like kind of the signature dish in these known restaurants in these cities that were open 30, 40, 50, 60 years. So getting in there and hearing all the backstory of how they've been in business so long, what went into their signature dish, why it's such an icon in the community, all the outreach that they do through the community, talking to the customers. Some of the customers that I met had been eating at these restaurants for 30, 40 years of their life. What keeps people coming back and all this other stuff and having fun, seeing the process of how these dishes were made and then getting to eat them and then realizing like some of this stuff, these restaurants 60 years old, I'm taking a bite out of American history. And it's really neat being able to hear the stories and what have gone into that. And then the other restaurant I do in the episode is where I go in and, all right, think of this premise. You go to a restaurant, you go out to eat and you're looking around and people's food's coming out. You're like, man, that looks good. Whatever they're having is look good. What are they eating over there? Now you're looking through the menu and you're like, my God, everything looks good. I can't make up my mind what I want to order. Well, that's why I ordered everything on the menu.
Would you say that there's a dish that you secretly like that kind of like pushes against your whole monster image? You know, people think, oh, like you want a steak, you want to eat some prime rib. Is there something like, you know, really intimate that you like that's like a small little dish that you might really more enjoy?
You say that. So the first experience in my life I ever got to do a 3-star Michelin restaurant, we did Alinea in Chicago. It's been voted the #1 restaurant in the world countless times. And it was really humbling experience for me. One, because knowing what it takes just to get a reservation there. The only reason we got into that restaurant is because they're fans of mine from WWE. Literally, they're like, we don't need any more exposure. We're booked out a year in advance and stuff like that. And then going in there and then eating this, literally the most decadent, delicate food on planet Earth. And then for me, having this humble realization that 12 years ago when I started my journey to going to WWE, I was pretty much homeless. I was sleeping in friends' spare bedrooms, sleeping on couches, sleeping in my cars. I packed up everything I owned in a Kia Soul with $150 cash in my pocket, a bunch of credit card debt, and one hell of a dream, and moved to Florida. And as I'm sitting there eating this meal in this restaurant, I'm sitting in a private dining room in the middle of the kitchen, having this epiphany that this meal 12 years ago was 6 or 7 weeks paychecks for me to eat this. Now I'm eating this in a private dining room on my own freaking television show. And I got emotional with it because for me, this small town redneck from Sherrilsford, North Carolina that has cheated the system and constantly outkicked his coverage in life. Yet again, having this realization of how amazing and blessed my life truly has been sitting here. And I had so many other experiences throughout season 1 of this, of getting to meet the people, the chefs, the owners, the customers, and all that stuff. And I think that's what really helped sell and shines the show. Is also the food is the focal point. Don't get me wrong, but for me, the whole world has seen Braun Strowman and the character that he's played in WWE for the last decade. This is the first time in my life I've had a major platform where I get to be Adam Scherr, the man behind the monster. And that's what's so special to me, because I always joke around, if WWE would have ever just let me be me, I would have ruled the world. But
Yeah.
we all play a part in the play. I didn't have the pencil, so I did my best I could with what they gave me every week. I like to think I changed what it meant to be a big man in the wrestling business. And now here I am with another opportunity in life to go out here and prove naysayers wrong and, break these stereotypes that fall around big people like me that we fee-fi-fo-fum through life, which, don't get me wrong, I made a hell of a living doing that. But now it's the time for me to be articulate and talk about the things that I'm passionate about. And while I'm not this super educated human being when it comes to the food space, I know it tastes good and I know how to describe it in the way that I understand it. So I like to think this is almost a more little blue collar approach to these food shows. You see a lot of these amazing chefs and I love their programming, but there's times when I'm watching it, I'm sure I can't be the only one when they're talking about stuff. I'm like, what on earth are you talking about? So for me, and the way that I describe this when I'm eating is there's not a soul on this earth that hasn't taken a bite of something good in their life. And it makes you close your eyes and you just go, mmm. So there's a lot of grunting and a lot of groaning and a lot of moaning and everything else in between and just having fun, man. At the end of the day, I had such a blast doing this. It was a ton of work. We were in Europe with WWE at the time, so I'm flying back and forth to the States and Europe every week to wrestle and come back to film everything on the menu. Got it all done. Untimely, leaving WWE, but it is what it is. Business is business. But here I am again, gracing everyone with this beautiful, monstrous beer on the USA Network, where I belong. It's my home. Everything on the menu. I can't wait. Premieres this Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on USA Network, right after Friday Night SmackDown.
I love that. I've always wondered about WWE catering and what you guys get served, because you guys need a lot of energy to go out there and perform. Can you explain a bit like what you do usually get during those events and how that compares to you being out on the road?
Oh man, honestly, like you go back there, catering's overwhelming. Like it's so much food. Like I can't even imagine what the bill is every week and stuff to feed everybody. They do a great job with it. It is hard staying away from the sweets table. They always have this giant buffet of
they have a sweets
they
table?
do?
Really?
Oh yeah. And it's not necessarily the healthiest. Like they'll have some like grilled chicken and stuff like that, but I'm such a snob and the beef king that I am. I usually either bring in a steak to have them cook, or I would steal one of Vince's or one of Triple H's steaks. I'm like, hey, chef, is there an extra steak back there? He's like, I got you, Braun.
Wait, you would bring your own steak?
Yeah, I would bring my own steak. I'd steal one of the bosses and not tell them about it.
Wow.
That's great.
That's great.
I recently saw you posted a picture. You went out to eat with Brian Cage and Damian Priest at a restaurant.
Yeah, that was Barry's Prime, one of my favorite spots in Las Vegas to go and stuff. Chef Barry there is unbelievable, takes great care of us. Yeah, we had an awesome time in there. That was after Damian was out doing promo for WWE at NASCAR race. I was out doing promo for everything on the menu. Friends with Brian Cage. He'd never really been to a NASCAR race, so I brought him with, and he got to come down to the pits and check everything out. And then, yeah, you got to top off an awesome day like that with an unbelievable meal and stuff like that. So getting out there, yeah, having that seafood tower, some nice bone-in ribeyes, and then I think we added about $300 to the bill with the truffles that they put on everything. I'm a little bit of a truffle whore myself, or a pig or whatever it is. So if I smell them, I want to eat them, and they're good. So that's one of those things I learned to love and been blessed enough to be able to eat. And that's one of the things I love about this show is hopefully opening other people's eyes to stepping outside of the box and trying the amazing food that there is out there in the world.
I got to ask you, if you can give me a number. I'm always so interested in how many calories people eat a day.
Yeah, man.
Especially in wrestling. I got to ask you this question. Can you give me at least a ballpark number of how many calories you were taking in per day at the peak of your wrestling career?
Oh God, the peak of it. So it's been so wild. So I'll start with like strongman. There was times when I was consuming probably close to around 20,000 calories a day.
Wow.
Well, my last strongman competition at the Arnold Classic in 2013, I weighed 418 pounds at it. So I would eat 5 double cheeseburgers and drink a 2-liter of soda on my way to the gym to go train, just so I would have the calories to burn and stuff like that. And then transitioning over into WWE, one, I didn't need to be quite as big. I still was gigantic. I debuted on TV at like 385. And then you saw over the years of my body transformation and just doing different things and kind of, trying to stay ahead of the curve in this entertainment world because everyone's attention span is, this big. So you got to hook them. So why not continue to evolve? I figured the better version looking of Braun Strowman I could bring to the TV would be a more entertaining experience for the fans and stuff. So then it just changed up the diet. Now with where I'm at today, with what I try to do, it takes me around 7,000 calories kind of to maintain my size. So, and that's in clean calories, which is a lot of work. I'm eating almost 6 pounds of chicken a day, like 12 to 16 cups of rice. I eat a
Wow.
whole bag of spinach. I eat a dozen eggs. I eat a carton of cottage cheese. I have a couple protein shakes, some fruit and things like that. So the thing with the human body and with how what works for me over the 25 years that I've been manipulating my body with food is the consistency thing. You get your body used to eating a certain amount of calories. And then if you want to gain weight, you add a few more calories. You want to lose weight, you take a few more calories away. So I would also prepare myself knowing that I was going into everything on the menu and I was going to have to eat 10, 15, 20,000 calories in one sitting. So I would do a crazy workout before the night before and then do my cardio in the morning. Then I would pig out on all this food. And then I would do like a 24 to 36 hour fast afterwards.
Jeez.
Then do another crazy workout, break the fast, and then earn another meal. I'm big on earning these slutty little cheat meals, I like to call it.
It's kind of like how The Rock gets those massive meals at the end of his.
I make the Rock's cheat meals look like he's going to freaking buy a salad.
Wow, that's a very bold statement. I've seen the pancakes, how high those things are.
Those are delicious, by the way.
Yeah, but can he eat everything on the menu at a restaurant?
Yeah, we've never actually seen The Rock do it in real time, so we can't. We never know.
He has, yeah. He's live streamed.
I want to ask you, who would you say is the pickiest eater in the locker room of WWE?
In the boys' side, no one other than maybe Dom and his fetish for chicken tenders.
Really, chicken tenders? That's what he's getting?
I think that's all the kid eats. I mean, he looks like that he's made out of chicken tenders.
I mean, I'll be honest. I get chicken tenders at Chili's like once a week.
I'm not throwing.
Yeah, we're not hating on tendies.
I love chicken tenders. Don't get me wrong. I eat plenty on myself. I got a little spot by me in Orlando. I love the fried ones. I try not to eat the fried ones, but they're so good. But they do grilled chicken tenders, and I've put quite a detrimental debt into the chicken community around the world, to say the least.
It's funny. We talk a lot about food. It's become a major competition. We have the hot dog food competition with Joey Chestnut and Kobayashi, all these guys. I wanted your take on, do you consider that a sport? Like, what do you think of that?
Oh my, yeah, absolutely. Like to watch, especially what's the small Japanese girl that does it and watching her eat. It's
it's crazy.
Chestnut, where do you put this? Like, I'm a huge eater. I eat a massive portion, but I couldn't imagine gulping down 72 glizzies in 12 minutes. So how you got to take that. I mean, that's one of those abstract sports of what for ESPN, the Ocho or whatnot. I don't know. But no, it really is. And that's what I said. Like, and a lot of people think that the premise behind everything on the menu is kind of a food challenge. And it's really not. Some of the restaurants I was able to eat everything they had on the menu and some not even close. For me, this is the ultimate cheat meal show. For the opportunity to go and like try these crazy nostalgic dishes and then go to an awesome restaurant and sit down and eat everything on the menu, or try to eat everything, or at least try everything on the menu, was that aspect of it. So I think it's going to really hit home with, like I said, the bodybuilders, the people in the fitness community that push themselves through all this awful, bland, boring eating. And here's another escape and an idea for, okay, now when I'm done with my competition, I'm going to go to one of these restaurants and I'm going to pig out on this. So that's what I said. It's all about food's an opportunity to bring people together, to have conversations, to talk about life and catch up and all this other things. So I think it's really fun, like bringing a different aspect, a different spin, putting my Southern hospitality and charm and monstrous personality on top of it with it. And like I said, man, I hope people enjoy it half as much as I enjoyed doing it, because it was a very special time in my life and I'm thankful for the opportunities. And here's to 10 seasons.
That's amazing. No, I'm a huge food show guy myself. I'm watching Kitchen Nightmares. I even watch Bar Rescue. I don't know if you've seen Bar Rescue, but I'm a big John Taffer fan. I just love it. I love seeing the process. What was your favorite dish the entire show? Can you tell us? I know it hasn't come out yet.
And it's so tough. Like, I don't have a favorite dish of anything, honestly. Everything was they did such a good job vetting out all these restaurants and, finding stuff. I got to pick out a couple of them. And the Milwaukee episode's really special for me because I got to have my cousins and aunt and uncle, and I got to have my goddaughter on screen with me and stuff like that. Orlando, I got to do a special restaurant, Beefy King, in there. I have a relationship with them. That's one of the first places I started eating at when I moved down there because it was affordable at the time when I didn't have a lot of money. I knew I could get a big portion, a nice, healthy roast beef sandwich, and then being able to shine the light on them because there's such awesome people in the community. They helped me feed 1,000 frontline hospital workers at Advent and Orlando Health during the pandemic when they were working 24 hours a day, saving people's lives. I partner with them to help feed the community. They source all their bread locally in the community, stuff like that. And then it's just so much fun. We did a sandwich. They've had the exact same menu for 50 years. That they added a sandwich to the menu for me. Now when their episode premieres on the 31st, they'll have the monster sandwich on it, which has 5 ounces of all their different meats. It's over a pound of meat on a sandwich. And it is absolute glorious meat mountain.
That's funny, man. I wanted your take on this. Io Sky recently was on Chris Van Vliet, and she was talking about cookie dough. And cookie dough is kind of like a polarizing topic because some people think you shouldn't be eating it at all. And she was like, why do Americans eat cookie dough? She's like, why don't you bake it? As a small town guy, what's your take on cookie dough?
Well, I know there's that old saying, like, don't eat it because there's raw egg in it and whatnot, but I'd still blend up eggs and drink them raw. Not ones from the grocery store. I get the ones that you got to wash the doo-doo off from the neighborhood. Unless you like doo-doo in your shit. But, no, I don't know. I mean, maybe she's just never ate good cookie dough, and that's the problem why she doesn't understand it. Maybe that's one of those things. I think a lot of that, too, is a lot of people don't understand food because they've never really taken that leap to try it. And that's one of these things with what happens on everything on the menu. I hope this inspires people to step outside their realm. Like Edison Food Laboratory in Tampa was, for an example. Other than until this time of my life, I hate lamb and I loathe little green peas. They made a lamb shank with a pureed green pea sauce around it, and it was to die for.
Wow.
So that's what I said, those things of having an open mind, especially when it comes to food. My saying in life is I'll try anything just to make sure I don't like it. Or excuse me, I'll try anything twice to make sure I don't like it.
Really quick, I want to ask you too. You worked with John Cena. Is John Cena a foodie? Is he a food guy, or is he more like food is fuel type?
I think he's a lot like me as well. He's very strict on his diet, but he likes to splurge. I know the Edison Food Laboratory that I went to in Tampa. I know he frequents that restaurant quite a bit. Batista goes in there as well because it's a very the chef that's in there is like a 5 or 6 times James Beard Award winning finalist in there, and their menu is. One, the portions are awesome, humongous portions. And then a lot of your normal creature comfort foods, but they put their own spin on it and stuff like that. It was a really fun experience at that restaurant. That's what I said. I had something awesome. I mean, I could say something awesome about every city I went to, every restaurant, because everything was so different. All the different walks of life, the different culinary ideas and concepts that they have and what goes into making the dishes and why their restaurants are successful and everything else in between. So it's just, like I said, it's a fun learning experience as well for me because I've not been educated in the culinary arts. I'm winging it as I go, and every episode I learn more and I have more opportunities to get my hands dirty in the kitchen, figure out how things are made. And it's fun, and I really, really enjoyed doing it. And it's, like I said, it's something that I hope hits home with the fans, and I get to do this for the rest of my life.
It definitely will. It definitely will.
Yeah, that's fun, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of John Cena, we're in the middle of the farewell tour. We've been asking everyone about it. It's fun. He's been taking on a bunch of different opponents. What do you think of it? And do you have any predictions for his last opponent?
I'll be honest with you. I haven't watched an ounce of WWE since I left in April. I have no idea what's going on. My life has been so busy, and I needed a little bit of a break. Things didn't end how I wanted it to with the company, but that's business. At the end of the day, there's a million things that I could probably say that I don't need to, but I always weigh on the positive side of stuff, man. Life is a glass half full. WWE gave me an opportunity at life that I could have never imagined having. I was homeless 12 years ago. I have a house in Wisconsin. I have a house in Florida. I'm 900 feet in the air in the biggest boardroom I've ever seen in New York City, talking to you guys about my own television show on the USA Network. Life's good, baby.
That's great.
Last question for you, Braun. And you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but everybody saw you tweet with Paul Heyman on X.
I got to stop you right there. I just keep getting this tweeting with Paul Heyman. I never even talked about Paul or acknowledged Paul. I don't know why he got so upset and came at me with thinking that I was dead, especially because he gets to see my face every commercial break on SmackDown. And let's be for real, if anybody knows about me having a show about ordering everything on the menu, you'd think Paul would know.
Well, Braun, I mean, Adam, sorry. I know you as Braun for
Adam,
years.
I'm Adam right now.
I'm sorry,
Call me Adam, call me Braun. Just don't call me late for dinner.
Yeah. I mean, you said, and I quote, Oswald Cobblepot, and then Paul Heyman said that he has every negative thing to say about you,
which is crazy. It's absurd.
Do you
That's
have?
the
Can you
wrestling
just
business, you
explain
know?
that a little bit? Like what happened there? Can we get a little exclusive?
I have no idea. I guess I guess I struck a nerve or something. I don't know. I didn't deliberately, intentionally mean to talk to him or any of that stuff. I don't know what's going on, and maybe he's just sensitive or something, or maybe he misses me. That's probably what it is. I think the ratings are struggling a little bit, and they realize that when the monster's on TV draws
Yeah.
ratings. So who knows?
So you don't have any problems with the bloodline then currently? You guys are
I
okay.
got no problems with nobody. I'm my own man. I can handle business how I need to handle business.
Good to know. Good to know.
Love that.
I have a personal question. One last thing from me. Years ago when I was younger, this is one of my favorite spots I've ever seen you do on WWE television. Me and my friends, we continue to send this clip to this day to each other. And it's when you're stretching Roman out and you throw him off.
Oh, it's so good.
How did that happen? Like, how did you do that? It looks so legitimate.
That's it.
That's
baby.
it right there. It
Look,
looked.
here's what I tell everybody. You don't ask David Copperfield how he made the Statue of Liberty. You just appreciate the act.
That's true. I mean, Harvey tells us to push, but sometimes we just got to let it be, I guess. So, well, thank you, Adam. We really appreciate you coming on, and we're big food fans ourselves, and we're really excited to watch this.
Yeah, man.
Everybody, please, after SmackDown on Friday, everything on the menu with Braun Strowman premiering on USA Network right after SmackDown. What's the exact time?
10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Perfect. So
Perfect.
Pacific, 7 p.m.
There you
Just
go.
over here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Adam. We're so excited, and I'm really hungry, and I'm going to go eat something now.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you, gentlemen. Y'all have a blessed day. Thank you for the platform.
You too.
You too. Thank
Thanks,
you.
man. See ya.
Cheers.